Hi fellow traders, what's happening? First day of the month, first day of the quarter. I hope you guys started it out strong. I know my first trade was as strong a trade as you ever want to see coming out of the gates. But the second trade pissed me off more than it should have and derailed my morning. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. It's a good lesson to that. It didn't take me negative. I mean, it didn't erase the big trade, but the fact that it didn't work and everything behind it is what pissed me off, caused me to make, a pretty dumb trade. I didn't lose money on, but it was pretty dumb and jittery, so I had to shut it down for the morning, kind of refocus, and then get back in and re-engage. And still kind of fell flat on my face and fell asleep and missed the initial trade on this Krispy Kreme IPO. I missed the drop, but I did chase it a little bit, paid the price, and then kind of righted the ship. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. That's the last trade that we're going to cover. That's the last one I did. All right, so we will be doing a class on IPOs, a class or two. It may be 3. I can't remember. I've got it laid out. I can't remember how I've got it planned, whether it's 2 days or 3 days. 3 classes, but I will be doing a class on IPOs and trading IPOs. I'm not a big IPO trader, but there's specific ones that I focus on that I feel like I have an edge, and that's going to give me the best opportunity. Just like earnings trades. I don't trade every stock that reports earnings, but only the ones that I feel like meet the criteria and give me the best opportunity. So, Krispy Kreme was the one today. I had some history with it. I was invested in it before it went private, either 2015, 2016. I did own some then, and this is a company that's heavily represented here in Colombia. It's been here ever since I was a kid. I remember skipping church, running to the Krispy Kreme up the street, grabbing some donuts and coming back, sneaking back in church. That's how addictive these donuts were. And probably the reason why I've developed type 2 diabetes is because I probably ate more of these donuts than I should have. I mean, I could buy a dozen and eat the whole damn thing in one night. That's just how addictive these things were. So, of course, I was really, really interested in it coming out today. But I didn't get to preface it because old Ed, being the old man that I am, I fall asleep. I'll take a nap anywhere. And that's kind of what happened. So let's take a look at my day, and then we'll jump on the IPO trade that I made and what I should have done. All right, so WBA, and this is not the right chart. I'm going to pull up the right one with the levels on it here in a minute. I took a snapshot of the wrong one. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. And we'll go from there. All right, here we go. This is the one that has the levels on it. And you could see we were selling off pretty good pre-market, and we had, and we were identifying this stock. We knew that there were some tight levels here, but the one that we really wanted to get through was this 49.89 level, 49.90, 49.89, because we had a nice window down to 47.80s, and this was a lower price stock, so we could size up, and I felt this would be a nice home run trade. Turned out to be that, but I did take it a little early because the setup was just absolutely beautiful. Here's the pre-market low, and then here's the daily level here, the pivot from the daily chart, 51.80. The market opened, it pushed up, and it was just too beautiful not to take. Got in it on the break and started taking profit at these levels. Now, since there was, so much room between, it's 2 points between 49.89 level and the 47.80, I tried to take profit halfway through, which is, according to plan. Unfortunately, it didn't get to the 47.80. I think I had my order out at 47.90, and even if I had put it at 48, I wouldn't have been hit because the lowest it got was like 48.03, and then when it started to bounce, I went ahead and took it off. Realized we weren't coming back. This bottom and tail on this stock pretty much told me all I needed to know. The 2-minute chart verified it, and so I bailed out of it. And you can see it just kind of stayed and traded sideways most of the day. It inched up a little bit. And I did try to trade some of that, but you could see it just was not any decent price action here. So I took this trade because I was pissed at the trade that we're going to talk about next. I was upset at it, and it caused me to take this trade without paying attention to these candlesticks. Big bottom and tail here, big no-no. You do not short the bottom and tail like this. What this means is it ran into some aggressive buying down here, and if you can't come back and take this out, you don't short it. You don't short anything until this is taken out. And I shorted up here and realized it after the fact, got mad, took it off, and double clutched it. Got long because I never buy into resistance. And I was like, hey, just hang on to it. If it takes out the low, then you're out. And it turned around, got up to the 20, and it just started reversing. I just didn't like what I saw when it hit this, and I ended up taking it off. And we waited. Once we got over the 20-day, this was a really nice catch right here. And unfortunately, we could not get to the final, my target here, which was a 50. I didn't want to take any profit here first because we were so close to the 50. I thought it would just get drawn into it, but it didn't. We pulled back. When we got back to this level again, I went ahead and took it off, and that was that. But really nice opening trade. Just tried to trade this, but there really wasn't anything left in this stock. I was just inside of this huge window, huge channel, and trading in channels, I'm just fortunate that I was able to make some profit on this. So if you look at, this is the profit we made on WBA, and just being smart, trading the price action, and then recognizing, hey, it's just not giving us anything. Now, yeah, I probably could have shorted this under VWAP and then made some good money on this, but I was focused on the IPO at that point. Plus, I had fallen asleep earlier. But that was that. But you can see, and we talked about the importance of scaling out and how I was able to lock in some really good profit. You know, if I'd have sat here and tried to hold it to the final target, I would never have gotten there. So, and there's no telling where this thing would have turned around if it hit any of those levels that we saw. So I think that was a pretty decent trade. So this is the stock that pissed me off. Only because I had expectations for this. Had I not had expectations, it would have just been a done deal. And then I can move on. But here's what I was looking at. We've been trading in this channel for over a month. We've been beating on the top of this. And I said once we took out this level, this thing had a nice window, 161.60, 164.28. Two nice targets up here that this thing could actually hit intraday. Because this stock, once it gets going, it can go. And so I was excited yesterday to see this big candle we took out. We claimed the 20, the 10-day, the 5-day moving average, and more importantly, the 50-day. So this is the first time we closed over the 50-day since, back here in March. All through here, we never could take it out. So to me, that was a nice bullish sign. So yeah, I was ready for this. Once we took out this 155.40, the top of that channel, I was all over it. And you can see I got in, added to it, was feeling frisky here, and then the rug got pulled out from under me. And it never came back. So this pissed me off. You know, even though I stuck to my risk parameters, I did everything according to plan, it pissed me off because it didn't work. I had high expectations. I've been waiting and tracking this for 3 days and really been watching it even longer, waiting for this. And so this is what derailed the rest of my day, the rest of the morning, and why I had to stop after those stupid trades on WBA. You know, I had to stop and kind of get my head screwed back on straight. And then now this is the IPO. Here's the entry that I should have gotten here. Alright, here's the entry that I should have gotten the second time. Remember I said I chased it and ended up paying the price for it? It's exactly what happened. Alright, I chased it, ended up paying the price for it, came back, let it bounce, got in. It did kind of try to play that trick on me again, but these candles never took out the low, and I just rode it up. I took half off at 20.50, and I've got half. I still have 500 shares on. I'm looking for the 25 level. So let me explain this. What I liked about this was the focus that Krispy Kreme had on what they're trying to do. What they've done between the time they went public and now, time they went private and now, is that they've bought out franchisees, bought franchises back, and they have 85% ownership of these, what they call red light stores. These are the stores that actually make the donuts. And then, I'm not going to go into the plan, deep into the plan, but the way they laid it out, it made so much sense. And most of the time, not all the time, nothing is 100%, but most of the time, when an IPO opens below the street's estimated price, typically it's going to go to that price. Now, it was estimated that this IPO would open up between 21 and 25 bucks. It opened up around 16 or so. And whenever it does that, I'm going to look to go long, and I'm going to look to ride it to the expected, opening price. Now, a lot of times it'll hit that and pull back. It may run through it for a minute and then pull all the way back. So that was what I was playing. I'm playing here. But I was going to take half off, just around 20, and just lock in some profit on this. I can't remember how much I locked in. I looked at it too. But I can't remember how much I locked in on this. But it was a pretty penny. And then, looking for 25. I'm looking for it to gap up tomorrow, potentially gap up tomorrow, and hit 25 before it starts to come back. Now, there are no short shares out there that I see available to short. This is more of a traditional IPO, and you're not going to have shares out there to short. So just looking to play it up, and I'm holding 500 shares overnight, so we'll see where this goes. And again, we will be having a class on this. I'll be talking about how to spot these, the ones that are not as risky. Some of these can be really risky. And some of them are going to be pretty fair traders. And this one, even though it was a little volatile, it stayed within the range that I could deal with and work with. And, voila. So, stay tuned for the classes on IPOs. They will be coming up toward the end of the summer. And along with the my brain went blank. Along with the earnings classes, that's changed. The landscape on that's changed. So we're gonna have to do new classes in it, and the options one is coming up this summer. So stay tuned for all of that, guys. So have a great evening. Get some rest, and we'll be back at this thing first thing in the morning.